Hello and welcome to the show on Prudent Media. My name is Sachin Chatte and on this program we take a look at the latest releases. Today we will take a look at Mani Ratnam's Ponniyin Selvan Part 2 and an interesting film called Sisu, which is a Finnish production but it is in English language. First, let's take a look at Ponniyin Selvan. Mani Ratnam's ambitious project Ponniyin Selvan worked specially for those who were familiar with the text of Kalki Krishnamurti. For those like me who didn't have much clue about the writings, the film didn't cut much ice. It was disjointed, the introduction and motivation of the characters was scrawny, and it all kind of fell flat. The sequel is a pleasant surprise, possibly because of the lack of expectations, but more because Ratnam has focused on the narrative and cohesive storytelling, and that seems to have worked. Also, the plot has narrowed down considerably in this film and focuses on those few characters as compared to the first part, which had more people than you would see at the Friday Mapsa market. Among the other positives, the production values are consistently striking in Ponniyin Selvan 2. Even though the films were shot back to back, PS2 appears to have an edge over the previous film. The sequel begins where the first part ended. Arunmoyi Varman, played by Jayam Ravi, and Vallavarayan, played by Karthi, who jump into the sea during the climax fight with the Pandyas, and they are saved by a grey-haired elderly woman, which is played by Aishwarya Rai, and that was a surprise element at the end of the first film. Before we get to the continuation of that story, there is a flashback about Nandini, which is played by Aishwarya Rai, and Adita, played by Vikram, and their blossoming love gets cut short as young adults. Meanwhile, Arunmoyi is alive but not exactly kicking till he is taken to Buddhist monks by the faithful Vallavarayan and gets treated there. Here, every scene, every frame and even the writing leans towards quality cinema. Nandini is unaware about Arunmoyi's whereabouts and plans to kill King Sundara Chola, played by Prakash Raj, and Adita both on the same day. We learn more about her loyalty to the Pandyas, while there are others as well who support her endeavour. Power, ambition, greed, betrayal and guilt all play a part in shaping the characters. Adita knows how scheming and dangerous Nandini can be, but his guilt-ridden conscience prevents him from taking any measures. We also come to know more about the grey-haired woman who appeared at the end of PS1. Her name is Mandakini and she shares a past with some of the central characters. Arunmoyi, as always, does what is right and hence went on to become the great Chola Emperor. Trisha Krishnan as Kundavai, the sister, had an important role in the first film but a relatively smaller role in the sequel. PS2 not only has the grandeur and makings of a magnum opus, it also has its heart and mind in the right place. It is difficult to tell which scenes were shot in front of a green screen and which were the ones which were actually shot with hundreds of extras and those magnificent sets. Jayam Ravi, Vikram and Karthi all play their part with conviction. Aishwarya Rai as the vengeful woman has given one of her best performances till date. Now with PS2, Mani sir is back in form and I'm going to go with 3.5 out of 5 stars for Ponniyin Selvan 2. The other release of this week is a Finnish production called Sisu. Now if John Wick and Rambo were to appear in a Quentin Tarantino film, the result would be something like Sisu. Directed by Jalmari Helander, a talented Finnish filmmaker, it appears to be a tribute to Tarantino's Inglourious Basterds, which was released in 2009. Now both the films are about Nazis, both have chapters in them, and unless my eyes were playing tricks on me, even the font of the chapters look similar. The derivative part aside, Helander manages to captivate you with the story of an old grandpa like commando who single-handedly annihilates a band of Nazis who have guns and even a tank. Some of them are literally blown to smithereens, while others, oh well, let's not get into that. Now, Sisu is a Finnish word that has no equivalent in English and is nearly untranslatable in any other language. But basically, Sisu means courage, determination and a never-say-die attitude. That is what Atami, played wonderfully by Jorma Tomila, has. Even when he is hanged, he doesn't die. Ideally, this film should have been in Finnish and German, but fortunately there is little dialogue in it in any language. Here, action speaks louder than words and sometimes with the blast of a landmine. Set in 1944 towards the end of World War II, the old man lives in the Lapland region with his dog and horse. No other human being or creature is in sight in this extremely picturesque area. After he literally strikes gold, he decides to take it to town and sell it. It's a long journey, but soon he comes across a bunch of Nazis and the action kicks in. The old man is not just an ordinary old man, but a killing machine that even the Russians dread because he had bumped off some 300 of them. His first Nazi kill sets the tone for what is to follow. Some is gory, while some of it is, well, clever, like tossing a landmine on the enemy. There are barely a handful of characters in the film. The Nazi captain, his deputy, and other soldiers who meet their end one by one, and there's a bunch of women taken captive by the Nazis. The ladies also have their moment of glory, and it is all done with terrific style. The old man is shot at, beaten up, hanged, and battered, but he survives, and the film is called Sisu for a good reason. Director Helander knows when and how to shock, surprise, and maneuver the audience, and also give them cathartic moments by using cinematic tools. Take the last scene for instance in slow motion when the old man walks into the bank. Even the sound and reaction of a pickaxe being kept on the counter is very cleverly used. Jorma Tomila may not have six packs but looks like a toughie, and he has got it in him to portray that he has Sisu. I'm going to go with 4 out of 5 stars for this Finnish production called Sisu. Well, that's what I thought of the films that were released this week. Do let us know what you think. Do write into us. Our address is features@prudentmedia.in. And I'll be back with you next week with more movie reviews. Till then, it's goodbye from me.